Hey guys, it's Vintage Vinny, and I have an antique store and thrift store haul to share with you today. Got a great assortment of stuff as usual, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. Stay tuned. I do apologize if I didn't come in front of the camera and talk to you all in my last video. I hadn't uploaded in so long, so I just went ahead and put all of the clips together that I possibly could and just upload whatever I had. But now I'm back in front of the camera, so now I can talk to you all just for a little bit, just to let you all know what's been going on and what lays in store for the future. So as you all know, it is tax return season and everybody is filing for it and getting some return checks, hopefully. My plans for my tax returns this year, since I'm actually getting a decent sum compared to last year because of the stupid agency that we used, I'm gonna buy a new computer because I've had this one forever and I've dropped it a million times. I mean, I actually went to a computer technician to have the screen fixed because the backlighting wasn't working. And sometimes when I am watching a movie or something on here, the light kind of fades in and out. It's really weird. You'd have to see it in order to really understand what I'm saying. And when I plug in things, like if I want to plug my phone in and put media on the computer, it'll connect and disconnect, and most of that is from dropping it from, being careless. And I've also factory reset this computer probably 10 times to get it to where it is now. So what I'm gonna do is hopefully I can find a laptop for a good price. I would like to have a Dell because that's what I have now. And yeah, so basically what I'm gonna do with my tax returns, because I know I'm gonna be getting a pretty good chunk of change, I'm going to get a new computer, make a good solid down payment on my car, and put the rest away in savings if I need it. So I think that's a pretty good resourceful way to spend and save my money. So let's go ahead and I'll show you everything that I picked up in the last few weeks. So this was a very interesting picture. I only paid $2.50 for it. I wasn't crazy about the floral print that was in here, but I really liked this minty green color that it was painted with. As you can see, the paint has been coming off over the years. It's done in a shabby chic style, and normally that's not my taste, but that mint green color is just awesome. I mean, the floral print looks good in here, but I definitely can see it with something like maybe ice cream decals from old soda fountains and things like that, and then maybe put that behind like a bar or something like that. So over time, if I can find those, I might add it to this. For $2.50, despite the damaged frame, which doesn't matter to me because it's an old frame, I will definitely be able to put that to good use. I found this really awesome vintage Rubbermaid canister set. It was originally $10.95, but the booth was having 20% off, so I only paid $8.36 for it. Overall, they're very clean, nothing really seriously wrong with it. The only obvious flaw is that the flower decal does have some wear and tear to it due to age. So I know that farmhouse decor is in right now, and white usually goes with anything, so I think these will definitely sell. They're not glass or ceramic, they are a very heavy plastic. I think I would have no trouble getting $30 to $35 for this set here. And I think someone will pay that because, like I said, the farmhouse decor is in. Anybody who just likes white will definitely enjoy this. I definitely feel it is from the 60s or the 70s. Running with vintage canisters, I found these Tupperware pieces. They were $2.50 a piece or $7.50 for all three. Normally that does sound a little bit high, but I definitely felt they would be worth some money.
Insides are a little dirty, so I may take some Barkeeper's Friend and just wash them out and see if I can get all the stains and stuff out of them. But overall, in good condition. And what's really cool about them, they are labeled for individual items. So this one's for cornmeal, this one over here is for biscuit mix, and this one over here is for pancake mix. I think if I clean them up and make them look really nice, I think I should have no problem getting, I might ask 40 bucks for the 3 of them, and I think that they will sell for that. For $5, I picked up this really, really cool Novelty Bartender apron. It's got a little bit of fading due to age, but that's normal with older pieces. I'm debating whether or not I want to use this at Halloween at work, and I think it would be really cool. So it's got a bartender with a chef's hat on. He's looking at a guide for different mixes, and he's got 2 bottles of booze in his other hand. He's got a cigar on him. It says, "It's on the house, folks." I guess this is for, I would personally put bottle caps in there if I was bartending. And then it's got, I guess, some quartet. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. That's made of like a bar cloth, or like, you know, standard apron material. I thought that was really cool for $5. What do you think? One of the vendors at one of my vendor malls was running a 70% off sale on all of her Christmas stuff. Anything red dot that she had that was Christmas in her booth was 70% off. I noticed this, and I've seen Thrifting 101 haul one of these before. They have it marked as an Anchor Hocking Xmas bowl. They had it for $19, which I would never spend on something like this. And it was 70% off, so I only paid about $5, and I think it was $5 and some change. I can't remember exactly. But it was definitely a really good deal. Let's see. $5.70 is how much I paid for this. Now, like I said, they have this marked for Anchor Hocking. This is actually made by Hazel Atlas. As you can see, the H in the egg, which, if you're not familiar with, you know, certain glassware, you know, that can confuse you. If you're new, you don't know what the difference between Anchor Hocking and Hazel Atlas is. Hazel Atlas has the large H and the small A. Anchor Hocking usually has a square with an anchor in it if it's, I think, before they merged with Fire King. And then after they merged with Fire King, it was Anchor Hocking Fire King. So this is a really cool image. I think this is called a Tom and Jerry bowl. This one has the old world Christmas image on it with the carriage and the horse and the old world people. I thought $5.70 was a great price for this, and it's in phenomenal condition. It is missing the cups, but I'm sure with time I will find those. So I was really, really excited to pick that up. And for $5.70, you can't beat that. The last item I'd like to share with you all before we dive into the smaller items is this really awesome vintage wall sconce. It's marked Made in Spain, and it's got these tulip-shaped globes on them. Overall in very good condition. There are some light chips on one of the globes, but of course I'm going to disclose that when I list this. Originally, this came from a booth that was asking $15 for it, which is a very good price in itself, but I was, at the time, kind of like, it'd be better off it was half off. And lo and behold, when I look at the, I guess right when you walk into the booth, had the 50% off, unless marked firm, sheet. So I didn't even see it when I walked in, but I saw this. I did see one that just had one light on it on eBay for 25 bucks. I think because this one is a bit larger and does have more lighting to it, I think I can ask upwards of about $100 to maybe about $130 for it. I think it will definitely sell for that because people are always looking to restore older homes and they want original fixtures, and this definitely fits that. So that was definitely a good pickup for $7.50. Before we jump into the smaller items, I thought you all would like to see some of the media that I picked up. These 3 Goosebump books came from an antique mall. He had $1 on the Go Eat Worms. He had 50 cents on the Shocker on Shock Street, and Why I'm Afraid of Bees was 50 cents also. I've seen another vendor at one of my local antique malls try to ask, I think like $7 a book, which is, I guess if you're a collector, which I mean I am, is okay, but still a little high for just one book. So if I bought every book that she had, I would be out a lot of money. Now, I am going to go ahead and check my books that I have in my collection and see if I have one that's not in the greatest of shape and just swap it out and put it with the lot that I'm going to be building with these. Because these do sell. The original 90s Goosebump books are worth money because the 90s are coming back. I mean, don't forget, people born in 1990 this year, 2020, are turning 30 years old. So this is nostalgia for their childhood. But that was a really good buy. That's what I will be doing with any of these books that I find in the future. I will always save them as long as I don't get them too expensively. I will be lotting them together. The last lot that I had, I sold for 30 bucks. So, and with medium mail, you can't go wrong with that. So I definitely had to pick those up when I saw them. Now this was definitely interesting. I've never seen this before, but I knew I had to have it because Home Alone, again, 90s. It was, I think she charged me 50 cents. I got it at the charity shop in town. It's an activity book. I didn't see any comps for it on eBay. It has been used and done, of course, and played with. But I've never seen it before. I think it's definitely cool, and considering it was helping promote this movie, which was a huge hit, I definitely was going to snag that because I knew they weren't going to charge me too much. So I thought that was definitely neat. I will definitely let you all know about what's going to happen with these books, if I'm going to be keeping them and swapping them out for ones that I already have, or if I'm going to go ahead and just keep these ones and list them when I get enough of them. So let's go ahead and jump right into all of that small goodness. So that's it for all of the larger stuff. So let's go ahead and move right into the smaller items. So the first item that you all are looking at is a 1964 You Need a Doll, and I believe this is Robin Hood. Originally, the person was asking $14, and this booth always is 50% off when I go to it and find something, so I only paid $7 for it. I did look it up on eBay, and I did not see anything like it at all. Whether it's unusual or hard to find is beyond me. So I will go ahead and try to do a little bit more research to establish what I will ask for it if I decide to sell him. So you all know me and my pinup. I absolutely love it. Christmas time has passed, but that doesn't stop me from buying anything pinup-y that's Christmassy. I think I have another notepad with this exact image on it. It's entitled A Christmas Eve. I paid $8 for it, which is pretty standard of what these will sell for just by themselves on eBay. So I thought that was a good price. So I went ahead and picked that up. I bought that along with the aluminum Christmas tree that you saw earlier. So I thought that was definitely neat. Probably frameable, I would say. So now we can go ahead and dabble into the smaller items. Now these were a really good pickup, and I was not expecting them to be as worth as much as I thought they were going to be. So I found a cobalt blue mug, and you all have probably heard me talk about saying that I would not pick up coffee mugs anymore because they just don't sell. At least not for me, they don't. I'm sure there are plenty of other sellers on here who do have luck selling the mugs, but I just don't. Unless it is something really different, like this, for example. I paid $5 for this at an antique shop, which for an antique store, that's pretty fair. And it says France on the bottom of it, right there, France. And I didn't see any of these on eBay at all. So that might be a good indicator that it is probably worth something. I might ask upwards of $30 to $35 for this. Now I got another Hopalong Cassidy piece. This is heavy black glass. It's a shot glass. Of course, I'm going to clean it. It was $3.75, and upon doing research at this antique shop, I found out that one of these just sold for $16. And I think that's what I'm probably going to list mine for, about $16 to $17. I'm going to clean it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and list it, and I think, even though it is a tad bit heavy, that I think it will still go first class because it's not such a bulkier item. So that was a really good pickup for $3.75. For $1 a piece, and these are for me, for my own house whenever I get there, I found these vintage balloon mugs. There are 4 of them. We've got green, we've got brown, we've got yellow, and we've also got red. And this one has the best stamp on all 4 of the mugs, and that says Japan right there. I did try to look them up just to see if there was anything comparable to them, and unfortunately I did not see anything. So I thought those were kind of cool. They're not very heavy at all, and some of them do have some marks on them, but they're older. If I had to guess the age, 60s or 70s is what my best guesstimate of this would be. So I thought those were definitely neat. Okay, now I've definitely got some smaller trinkets. I'm going to go ahead and try to get through these as quickly as possible. So I got these adorable Piggy salt and pepper shakers made by, let's see if I can get that to focus for you all so I can see what it says on camera. Commodore, Japan. They were originally $7.95. I got 20% off, so I only paid $6.36 before tax. I thought they were absolutely adorable. You've got one holding a spoon and the other one is holding a cookbook. Unfortunately, during transit home, the arm holding the cookbook was broken off, so I just took some crazy glue and glued it back on. You really can't tell. I thought he was super cute, though. I've never seen them like that before. I almost hesitated on getting them because I thought $8 was a bit much, and then when I saw the 20% off, I said that's not too bad, and because I bought something else to resell that's not vintage, that's going to not be in this haul, of course, I thought, what the heck, I'll go ahead and grab them because they're going to be paid for. Since I didn't buy a bunch of stuff that wasn't worth my time to list like I used to do in the past, running with that same vendor mall, I thought these were super cool, and if you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen them. These are General Electric ice chest salt and pepper shakers. I would date these to probably the 1920s through the 1940s. That's just a best guess to me. They are made of milk glass. Unfortunately, during one of the cleanouts, I accidentally broke the brittle cork on the pepper shaker, but it sat in there for a long time, so I would have expected that. Now, originally, the vendor who had these had them marked for $14.75. I was not paying $14 for these. I did look them up, and I did see they weren't selling for a lot of money, but they are still cool nonetheless. So he had 2 tags on them, marked for $7.25, and that's what I thought they were going to be. So I took them up to the register. The guy who was ringing me up and the owner of the store were there. And she said, I do want to call the vendor and just make sure that that's what he is asking. They called him, but I don't think he had remembered that he had put a different tag on there because it had the same inventory number and all that other stuff. So they went ahead and set them aside for me. I was anticipating on getting them that Friday, but I was able to go ahead and pick them up, I think, 2 days after because the guy had come in earlier, I guess, to put some stuff in or just gather his check or whatever. So the lady called me while I was working and said, yes, they are $7.25, and I just went back and grabbed them right after work. So I love them. They're going to be a part of my collection, and I really like the old General Electric sticker that's still on there. As you can see on the other one, it's pretty much all rubbed off, but right there, it's still kind of intact. The metal tops were kind of corroded. This one had some salt in it. I ran some hot water into it and it melted the salt right out. So I thought those were definitely a really cool piece of, I guess, advertising. I've never seen them. Like I said, they don't sell for much, but not having to pay shipping on them, I thought $7.25 was a fair price. Okay, let me show you what I picked up at the Goodwill outlet. I got a pair of athletic Puma pants in my size for $1.71, so that was a really good pickup. Let me go ahead and adjust the camera down so you guys can see this stuff better. So, in total, these 3 items at the Goodwill outlet cost me a whopping 51 cents. So 51 cents for the snowman cup. These, I think they're bears? They're either bears or mice. And then this really weird doodad, which we will go ahead and go over when I show you each item up close. So I saw this in one of the bins immediately as I was rummaging through. Now, my Goodwill outlet did move. They're no longer on the road near the one Goodwill that I go to. They are literally right down the road from me. I just go straight up, make a left out of my neighborhood, go straight up the road, up towards the drugstore, I make a left, go all the way down near a small town airport. I just keep going up that road towards our donation center, and the outlet is right there, which is nice. So I got this, and when I looked on the bottom, at first I thought it was something that you would buy at the dollar store, but if you look at the mark on the bottom here, it's marked F&F Mold and Dye Works Inc. in Dayton, Ohio, made in U.S. So this is probably from, I would say, the 60s, 50s or 60s. I thought that was definitely neat and will be a great addition to my vintage Christmas stash. Now these I was pleasantly surprised to find out aren't worth as much as I thought they were. I just bought them because it was highly unusual to see something like this. I think these are made by Shawnee, but I could be wrong. They have their original corks. Like I said, I don't see any markings on them. But they're definitely older, like probably from the 40s or the 50s. I thought they were interesting, and for way less than $1, that was definitely a steal. And I think I'll just add them to my salt and pepper shaker collection. Now this guy is definitely interesting. I think he might be some kind of novelty item. On the bottom he has a stamp, and it says, oh, it's upside down, of course. It says, copyright Pride Creations Inc., 155th Avenue in New York City, U.S. and for Pat's pending, made in Japan, and there is a 41 stamped on the back of his 1 foot. Now, it's a guy holding a bunch of money, and you press down, and his hat pops up, so there's a spring in there, and it says, the sweet smell of success. This was probably a dime store toy, or somewhere along those lines, something that you bought back in the day. I just thought it was interesting, and again, because I paid so little for it, even if it's not worth it, I think it's kind of neat. Because, I mean, don't we all dream of being rich? I mean, to me, it's okay. I mean, money isn't everything, but it's nice to have, especially if you need to do something. Alright, so that was it from the Goodwill outlet. Now this, I was not sure if it was old or not, but I went ahead and picked it up anyway because you just never know these days. So it's ruby red glass. It's really heavy. It used to have a candle in it, so I think this will probably, maybe it's almost like a fairy lamp in a way, only it's just not as ugly. Christmassy, I think I can clean that up, no problem. I only paid 75 cents for it. Even if it's not old, I might as well go ahead and send it to the auction house just to make a little bit of money off of it, even if it was 75 cents. But I thought it was interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is vintage, because I honestly don't have any idea. Alright, and the last item that we're going to look at today is probably my most expensive, but I definitely think it was well worth it. So this was also from the antique shop where I picked up the Hopalong Cassidy glasses. Originally it was $12, and the booth was having 25% off, so I only paid $9 for it. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is probably Art Deco, like maybe 30s, 40s. It's in good shape, no cracks or chips on any of the pieces. The gold paint is coming off of it, again due to age, but no cracks or chips. It does have a number which is stamped into the ceramic. Usually on the quote-unquote modern pieces, they usually just stamp it with a number and glaze over it. This is actually in the piece. So that indicated to me that it was definitely older. I think on the vendor tag it said Germany, but I could be wrong. I just really, really liked the fish, and I just thought it would make a really cool display piece. I think back in the day it was maybe for matches or cigarettes or any kind of other smaller item. But I definitely thought this was a cool piece. I mean, what do you all think? So that is everything I have for you, so let me go ahead and conclude this video. So this should have been added on to my smaller items for this haul video. I couldn't resist this when I saw it. I put it back and said you really don't need it, but I really liked it. I paid $1 for it. It's an elephant glass, and it's just got all kinds of interesting images on it. It does have, I think that's an L for Libby Glass Company. So I thought that was really cool, and it is in good condition. I might have to clean it up a little bit, but I think once it's all clean and shiny, it's going to look great. So that's all I have for you today. Be sure and give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when new videos are posted. All the links to my social media accounts via Instagram are down below as well, where you will see pictures of items to come in future haul videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye, guys.